If you're a Christian who struggles with sin and you want to change that in 2026, you might want to watch this video to the end. As a Christian, I want you to understand that there's a constant fight for your soul in the spiritual realm. Meaning the devil is trying to put you back to your old ways, and God does not want that to happen. So this is one of the reasons why you might always struggle with sin. One very important thing that I want you to understand is that the moment you find yourself going back to your sin or having that desire to sin, don't beat off yourself or don't sit or remain in that sin. If it's a desire, make sure you don't commit that sin. And if you realize that you've actually committed that sin, make sure you don't sit and remain in that sin. Because one thing that the enemy will do is that it will come at time to tell you that, oh, you've already committed the sin. Why don't you just continue? It is very important that you don't listen to that spirit, okay? Because that is the spirit of devil and wants to keep you stuck in your sin. Now, here are some things that you can do to overcome that struggle. The first thing you need to do is whenever you find yourself struggling or going back to this sin, or you realize that you've committed that sin, it is important that you go back to God, right? Don't sit in that sin, don't remain in that sin, or don't decide that, because I already have the desire, I'm just going to commit the sin anyway. But instead, go to God for help. It is very important that you crucify that your flesh immediately. It's very important that you don't let that sin win. And if it's a recurring sin, it's something that you realize that you always find yourself doing, try your best to go for a deliverance session. You can look for a tenured and matured pastor that can help you with this process. Someone that is filled with the Spirit of God. It is important that you are very careful because there are a lot of false prophets and fake pastors out there. Make sure that you do not remain in that sin. Crucify your flesh, crucify your desire, crucify that need to go back to that sin. Pull up yourself and get yourself into the presence of God. Now, the next thing is for you to speak to somebody that you know that is very matured and tenured in Christ. This could be a mentor, this could be your friend, someone that you know that is more experienced and more matured when it comes to Christian ways. If you're comfortable enough with this person, you can speak about the desire or the sin, or if not, you can just speak to the person. This allows you to remove your mind from that sin and help you have a seasoned conversation that will lead you more to Christ. Now, the third step is to get away from that environment, because most times the situation we find ourselves makes it easier for this desire or the urge to commit this sin. So make sure that you're changing your environment. If you're in a secret place, if you're just the only person around that place, change your environment. Go to where people can see you. In fact, I suggest that you drop your phone and you take a walk, or you go to a setting of people. Do not go to the setting of people that would allow you to go to the sin, but instead go to a setting of people that you know that they would not encourage that sin. If you decide to take a walk, you can pray and have an honest conversation with God. And if you decide to be amongst people, preferably let it be people that you can speak to God about. This is why it's important that you surround yourself with like-minded people, Christians that can support you and pull you up when you are down. The next thing you can do is listen to godly music, listen to messages, and probably a podcast. Not just any podcast, but a Christian podcast that will teach you more about the things of God. And if you decide to listen to godly music, make sure you are singing along and you are dancing in the presence of God. This satisfies your environment and your mind and tells the sin that this is a no-no area for it. Another very important thing is that you identify your triggers. Now, this trigger can be your environment, certain group of people, the songs you listen to, the movie you watch. Stay away from them completely. I hope this video helps you to become a better Christian in 2026. God bless you. Bye. Mwah.